mellow on them.
Hello, everybody. This is your man Takaki, and I'm bringing you guys an anime podcast on Labor's Day, and I'm joined today by my special guest, the Sparta. My man, introduce yourself and tell them your channel.
Of course, we can't introduce me without my sound effects. We gotta get that right in here. I'm the Spartan. I am from Spartan HQ Network. We do a little bit of everything, from serious topics, from anime to Gen X to the Hangout to Gray Area. Please check us out. We're gonna be great supporters, and as much as we like support the channel too, support both of us. Support the cause, I say. Sailor Moon, right? That's what we're talking about.
Yep. Guys, we're here to talk Sailor Moon by the thumbnail pic that I found myself, and also that I put together. We're here to talk it, because I am such a and I actually do want to play a video later on because Sailor Moon is a classic that got done a remake, and we may also be getting a Gundam Wing remake possibly. With which, by the way, Spark, did you know about that particularly?
Yeah, I actually heard. I seen the trailer. My guys, David and Wallen, did a little on their thoughts about it. I think it looks good. It is not going to be a remake. It's a continuation after End of the Waltz. Later on, it was because they made a manga out of it, and now they're going to add
called Frozen Drop.
Exactly, and I'm actually excited because that's what the anime got me into anime. Gundam Wing was the one that opened the gateway for me to. I'm not a humongous anime fan. I'll be honest about that. But the animes that I'm into, I dive in deep. I mean deep. Like I used to build the Gundam models. I used to watch all the Sharn Attack, original MSN, all those. I loved them. Like to me, Gundam is like literally. If you're an anime fan, you don't like Gundam, we cannot be friends. Simple as that.
Yeah, we can't be friends. I'm sorry, man. Listen, I have the Gundam opening. I have just communication, rhythm of motion, endless walls. Like I said, white reflection. Oh man, dude. Like, and I tell people, because the reason why Sailor Moon relates to this, Sailor Moon and Gundam Wing were on Toonami, my man. So I watched all of that shit. That's what it was. And when they showed that trailer for that thing, and by the way, guys, here's what we'll do. After we're done with discussion, we'll watch that whole thing for you guys. Because I did it because me and my man Zeno, we did a reaction to it on live, and I got all those in my childhood back when I saw the clips of like Hero, Troa, Wu Fei, Catra, Duo, my dude. Yeah, Duo's actually, you know what, Duo, as I've gotten older, Duo's become more of my favorite actually. Because that dude had a death scythe. He literally had a scythe beam saber, and his Gundam was distinctly made for space and like nighttime assassinating people because it was like a stealth type. And I'm like, anybody who made like Batman or whatever, just think of it in terms of that, like this, except Batman with a scythe. Just think of him like that, but just cooler and less brooding, by the way. But yeah, like I said, we'll do a video for you guys after discussion. But Sparta, brother, tell me how you came across Sailor Moon. I know I just said Toonami might like be impossible, but tell me how you what was your experience with it, and I guess well, we'll get into the remake a little bit later, but like just give me your first experience with Sailor Moon.
So my first experience with Sailor Moon, it was actually kind of funny. It was before it was premiered into America. I actually watched it back in Greece. on a channel called
Oh,
Adena. Yeah, and it was like they had anime and cartoons simultaneously on Saturdays and Sunday. I remember literally it was 2 episodes. Like I would say, episode 1 was on Saturday and episode 2 was on Sunday. So literally, we binge watched cartoons or anime on Saturday. And then, like, they used to start the cartoons and stuff like a little later because everybody go to church. So I remember me and my best friend, we used to literally run home after church in our nice clothes, and my grandmother used to make us food, and we just literally binge watch it. And I found it very fascinating. And people were like, "Are you really watching this, girls?" I'm like, "No, this is cool." I'm like, and I just thought it was cool. But when it came to Toonami, oh man, it reunited a passion of mine. I was like, "Oh man." But now I'm a little older. I'm into the woman, obviously. Like I'm like, I'm checking them out. Like, yeah, I can dig it. Mars was my sweetheart. Like I'm like, yo, if Mars was real, I'll rip her apart any day of the week. But I always liked them. I think it was a fascinating story, good storyline. They know how not to milk out too long, but just enough to hold you right on your edge of the sheet. Like, wow. Like, I wonder what's gonna happen tomorrow. And I keep going back to it. And I don't want to say too much about the remake, but I will say really fast, the remake did justice to the series. I don't leave it at that.
right. And for me specifically, and by the way, it's kind of like all the girls now that I'm older, but I would say, let's keep it real, because I wasn't as smart as I am now. So Mars was one of my favorites. Mars and Jupiter, because for some reason, like like I said, tomboy girls were like attractive to me in some sense, because I fucked with them. But when it came to me discovering it, so okay, how I first discovered Sailor Moon. So I was in middle school at the time, and I had a girlfriend at the time, y'all. And what I didn't know was that she was a fan of Sailor Moon or anything like that, because like I said, because we didn't live too far apart, so she would come over to my place, and whenever we were doing homework, we would actually do our homework early, like either on the bus, so we can get to watching like a show, because everybody knows, if you were a kid at the time and you're getting home to watch Dragon Ball Z, Gundam, and Tenchi Muyo, all these other shows, like you got to get your homework done, because if you don't get it done, you're gonna miss the freaking shows, because they literally start like somewhere around 4 or 3:30, somewhere around there, and then it ends around 6, around that time. And so I first discovered when she said, "Yo, we're gonna watch Sailor Moon." I'm like, "Oh, what's Sailor Moon?" You didn't know that? Oh, that show. And I was like, "Oh, that show." I never got a chance to watch it because I don't know. I thought it was just for girls. But I'm like, check it out. I watched the episode with her. It was literally the episode where Tuxedo Mask appears, and like one shot's a monster and helps Sailor Moon defeat a monster. And I was like, this is pretty interesting. Because this dude is Tuxedo. I'll say the name in Japan, Tuxedo Kame. That's how they pronounce him. Like, this dude is like decked out, wearing a cape, wearing an eye shade mask, wearing a top hat. Like, he's like a magician. He's just like a magician, honestly. And I'm like, yo, this dude pretty cool. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Okay, let's see where this goes. So after that, that's kind of what got me into the folding of that. And then after that, I started watching it on my own will after that. Because I'm like, I can see what they mean. Like I said, there's romance in here, but there's also like, there's some dark themes going on here. I'm like, yo, like low key. I'm like, there's some dark themes here. So that's how I first discovered it.
And it had a dark theme, but not too dark. It was right in the balance, if you remember. But I did like how they brought in like Pegasus, for example, and that became one of Sailor Moon's weapons. She pulled the swords, if I remember correctly, from that. I like the that she's technically from a different timeline, and she technically knows she's gonna marry Tuxedo, and she's not in love with him, but she's fallen in love with him already. It was like they are talking about, and that's every anime, any movie you watch, you do not talk about a timeline because you're gonna mess up the time and continuation line. But this one broke that rule. It's just let's talk about the timeline and see what happens. Like, and that's making me curious. Did they change the timeline, or is it still the same after that?
Right, and like I said, you really get into that different timeline period when Sailor Chibi comes in, their future daughter. But what you were saying about one, so when you find out later on is that the reincarnations, they actually have a reincarnation cycle, so they can't really die, in the sense, in the true sense of, you can never kill like a Sailor Scout in fully. That's what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like they will all come back. They'll come back from past lives, and then they'll begin from a baby to like back to the age of when they become a scout. Is what it is.
Yeah.
Once I found that out, I'm like, damn. They're damn near immortal. Well, not immortal. They're like Hawkman and Hawkgirl, where like they always reincarnate whenever they're died because they're from because they're like from ancient Egypt or whatever, because they're from a different remember they're from
that makes sense. And that makes
different
sense
planet, particularly because all the Sailor Scouts, particularly, they're all from a different planet. Like I said, they're like literally, I can't say moon people, they're aliens. And I never thought of it like that because I was like, well, what's Superman? Superman's an alien. He just looks like us. That's all it is. And like I said, there's different iterations of it, but I thought that was quite interesting. Like I said, the cosmology of like their verse is really big compared to ours. Like what the outer planets govern that the main five don't. And I'm like, what duties that they have in their lives. So for example, what I think my favorite arc, it's not the first arc really. First arc is actually really good. And the remake of Crystal, I think it's really, really good actually. Because it's a lot darker than what you realize what happened. Like how the Moon Kingdom got destroyed. How the five scouts literally died and got reincarnated, and what actually sad for the other scouts is that they actually had partners similar to Sailor Moon. The difference is that their partners usually felt like the main villain of season 1, guys. I want to tell you this for a while. It's Queen Beryl. Queen Beryl is the one that came in and destroyed the Sailor Moon Kingdom and wrecked everything because she was seeking the power of the Silver Crystal. And what she did, so what we didn't know until you get to the flashback episodes later on, like 9 or 10 in the remake, is that you find out like the very villains that the guys, Koizet, Zoizet, and all of them, they are literally the bodyguards. Like they're like literally the guardians of and Damien, aka Tuxedo Kami, like they're keep forgetting his name because I screwing up his name, but they're literally his guardians, which means that he had his own posse like Sailor Moon did, except they were all knights, and Queen Beryl really corrupted them, took control of their bodies literally, and made them evil, brainwashed them, stripped them of their will, and then I was like. What actually sucked, in my opinion, was when you got to the point where they started to get their memories back. Well, we don't serve evil. We're meant to serve our king. Where's he? Like, and then when they get their memories back, when they're fighting the Sailor Scouts, they literally die. And then I was like, well, wait, so you're telling me Sailor Moon is the only one to get like, this is where like people get mad over this, where it's like. I can understand if you're a fan of the Sailor Scouts, the Sailor Scouts gotta like search forever for a loved one. Whereas for Sailor Moon already has her, like all their guys already died. So they're kind of like wandering and searching for somebody, which is actually hilarious to me, in my opinion, actually fucking sad. I was like, okay, bro, that's fucked up. That's literally fucked up. I was like, damn, I didn't know we were gonna do that with the story. But I was surprised by that because I didn't know that when I was watching it with my girl at the time because I was watching it randomly with her. When I was younger, but I didn't know all the details. But there were some things I can like piece together at the time when I was younger. But when I got older and decided to like check it out for myself, I realized that with the old series Sparta, you got to understand there was a lot of filler there. There was a lot of filler to get to the arcs.
Absolutely.
Dead ass. A a ton of filler. Even DBZ had filler, but DBZ had entertaining filler at the time. Garlic Jr. was not boring, so I still watched it. I wasn't bored or like, this again. It was good for a while, but it wasn't like boring.
In my opinion, when I thought it got really good when they introduced Sailor Units, I believe her name was, and Sailor Neptune. When they introduced those two characters,
Uranus and Neptune.
Oh my god,
those are my favorites.
Yeah, I like how their powers were different. They had to create a ball, almost energy ball to strike somebody, versus
you have more output and power.
Exactly, and I like that. It was a different take, and that recaught my interest into the series. I'm like, towards the end of I don't say first season because it wasn't in seasons. It was chapters almost in a way.
There were chapters. So,
yeah.
Like chapter 1 is like literally first season, and chapter 2 is like in season 2. But and then 3 is Sailor Saturn and shit like that. That's what we get into.
Yeah, when they start adding more sailors to the series, I found it more interesting, more fascinating, more characters. They start mixing it up because, okay, how many times is Sailor Moon's gonna get in trouble? How many times Tuxedo's gonna save her ass? How many times she wants him to kiss her and do the naughty with her, and it never happens. So it got boring towards the end a little bit. The end
of
season 1, it was. I'll give them credit. They did a good job with it. But when they brought in the other sailors, okay, now you got my interest again, and it kept my interest, and it was getting better and better.
Yeah, it's kind of when you're saying when they got to when the other Sailor Scouts came in, like, so for example, the other trio, I call them, and I'll throw something else in there for you. When they brought in Sailor Saturn, when they brought to Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. That's when you get into that's where you're getting to the serious holy tier. Holy shit, this has got much more bigger and more disastrous type themes or type struggle situations going on. And here's why: because in I'll tell people this with the original, when you got to Sailor Saturn in freaking original, it was a hell of a lot of filler to get to Sailor Saturn, and that's why I couldn't get back into watching it, because I'm like, come on guys, you can't be giving me this shit in a week. Like that's what got me up. But when they did the remake, it was no filler. It was a straight shot through to that, and you got 1 to 37 episodes. You got to Sailor Saturn, and also her story a lot more with her dad and things of that nature. And in the original, they made the dad seem like a homicide, but a maniacal jackass, like literally creating villain of the week to stop the Sailor Scouts or some shit. And I was just, okay, that's when I started feeling like filler. So, but with the remake, it was a straight shot. You know what the dad was doing. Dad loves his daughter. Simple as nature. Simple as that. She didn't feel human at the time, but then she was human. And her personality is very different. And also, she's the youngest one, actually, all of them. Second youngest, because she's 13. All the other scouts are like 14, 15. And then Uranus and Neptune are like dead ass, like 16. Something like that. They're older. I don't know. Pluto looks like an 18-year-old woman. I don't care what anyone tells me. She looks like she's 18. I don't give a damn. She looks exactly like that age.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Like, I'm talking about like how she looks, she looks like a grown ass woman. Mm-hmm. She's the one who grows grown. And then like I said, the Saturn, the Sailor Saturn arc is my favorite because she's not ever supposed to be awakened or released, because what the other two scouts were saying, like, yo, listen, we are literally here to make sure she does not awaken, not kill her or anything of that nature. We're here to prevent her from ever waking, because if she wakes up, it means that this planet will be destroyed. And by the way, I did not know how OP she was until they said she could destroy a star system. I was like, wait, she could destroy a star system? I said, wait. So she's on Phoenix level? Like that, she's at OP? I'm like, yeah, she can destroy planets like that. So when you saw, and I'm pretty sure you saw it. So when you watched the remake and you saw that this whole planet, so remember when she awoke and she said this whole planet is covered in evil. So that's why they call her the Guardian of Ruin. Literally, she is meant to destroy things that are evil, even though it cost her to do it. So, for example, so remember the technique that she did in the when she awoke and she says, "If I swing my glaive down, I'm actually," so she stores up power and then puts it in her glaive, and if her glaive touches the ground, the planet literally destroys. Like she can literally blow up.
I do remember that, and I do remember they're trying to stop her at all means necessary.
They were trying to stop her. They were like all the scouts and I think Uranus, Neptune, and even Sailor Moon all trying to stop her from trying to do that. Like, no. That's her duty. That's what she's supposed to do. Hence why you're never supposed to wake her up. Yeah.
Yeah, I explain to people like she's the Grim Reaper of Sailor Moons. Like, that's why I can explain it because she's dark. I like that about her. I like the power. Like her power is way too powerful for any human being to handle. To the point you get struck, you're fucking toast. You can't.
Yeah,
you can't
she was done too. You can't stop her. Yeah, and I was like, damn, I want. And I was like, since when the Sailor Moon can get at the planet level, I'm like, yeah, like they're that strong. It like the other guardians get to that tier of power. So, for example, Pluto is a time manipulator. She can stop time. She can rewind time. She can go through windows, things of that nature. Like she can do things like that. I mean, like I think one of the biggest techniques she does cost her life, and she reincarnated and become alive. But I'm talking about it's like I think it's the one where she tried to rewrite time or something like that, or something like that, because that's the penalty for her doing that. For the Saturn, if she does the one that can affect the solar system, she literally dies and then she comes back as a baby. But you saw when she did think that it was a planet, she literally died and it came back as a child because that's one of her most powerful techniques, and that's how much power that guardian has. And also not to mention, she was still in a kid body. She was not even in her full adult body. She was a little girl. If you want to keep it real, like I said, she's 13.
I was a little surprised they made her so young. Because now you're talking about freaking child trafficking laws in a way. But she was young. If you think about it, the character was very young. The only other character I remember that young that I watch, I'm not saying this is the only anime. Actually, I was going to say Dragon Ball Z. I would say Gohan was pretty young when he first.
Yeah, Gohan.
Yeah, man, he was a child when they took him.
Gohan was like 10 at least. I think he was like 8 or 9. I think he was like 8 or 9. It was when the start of the series. I think I think it was like the start of the series. He was like 8 or 9 when Dragon Ball Z came in.
Yeah, and I'll put her around the highest 12 years old. I would say, if I had to guess. And I never looked it up to know. Hey, type it in like ding, and like this how much she is. If you, this is me hitting my space bar and I go ding. By the way, with my forehead, I have a big space bar. Keep in mind. But again, it was just the person who created this. It was on two things. She's a genius, or she's fucking high on something. One or the other. But she did a great job with this. I know. I can't remember the creator's name, but
the creator. Oh yeah, the creator's name is Tal. She's actually the wife. If you didn't know, she's actually the wife. Togashi. That's Togashi's wife. Yeah. The guy that made Hunter Yu Hakusho show.
Yeah. Okay. Now let me ask you a question. Do you know if she also worked on the remake?
She did. Oh, okay. My bad. Dude, you're right. She's still a Saturn. Okay, it says her age has she has a fluctuating age that varies by arc and continuity. She is often depicted as a child first, entering at 12-year-old in a manga. So it ranges. So from as a series when she older. But she looked 13 from what it was.
Oh yeah, she looked young. But, I just guessed she was 12 years old. Like I said, I never looked it up. I didn't really care looking up, to be honest. But I just guessed. But hey, I guess everybody has a lucky day once in a while. Maybe I should play lottery tonight.
Right. Oh yeah, and the Arthur's name is begins with a T. I'm making sure I say it right because I know Japanese, so I gotta make sure I say it correctly. Okay. Naoko Takeuchi. Yeah, that's her
Again,
name.
my original
Naoko
question:
Takeuchi.
was she involved in any shape, way, or form on Sailor Moon Crystal?
I'm looking at it, and it says. Mm, And while the original anime has been redubbed, the manga story is being more faithfully adapted into a new animated series such as Sailor Moon Crystal and recently re-released Sailor Moon Cosmos. So yeah, she had a hand in it. She had a hand in it.
And that makes sense because
she had a hand in the remake.
Again, it was very good. So
because because the artwork for the new remake, I don't want to cut you off, but the art from the remake was the art from the actual book. And also, to be fair, in 1999, we didn't have. Let's keep it real. We didn't have the animation we have now. That's another thing on some of these series with some of the animes. So I want to give them the benefit of the doubt.
The anime world has grown up a lot. Let's be honest here. I mean, back in the day, when we were kids, a lot of people didn't talk about anime or got into anime. It was really rare, a very small niche. And truthfully, everybody was into anime. We just didn't talk about it. Like we talked about wrestling or movies.
Wrestling, football.
Yeah.
Action movies. Like things like that. Like for me growing up, and I actually do want to get back to Sailor Moon when I say this. It's certain things were popularized. Like girls would watch Sailor Moon, would watch DZ. That was the thing. That was always the thing. And I was a true DZ fan. Let's keep it where I was. I was a true Gundam Wing fan. Love the hell out of that. I was a Yu Yu Hakusho fan. I'll probably say I'm the biggest Yu Yu Hakusho fanboy of all time. That's my favorite series of men being men. And what Sailor Moon normally is, and I tell people this, to tell people, I actually got 2 girlfriends off that series just because I understood a little bit more than what I did when I was really, really younger. And normally, and I always tell you, if normally I tell people, I said, if you have a pretty face normally enough, you can actually attract any girl you want, particularly. And sometimes in real life, when you're younger, it's a little bit easier because you still have your baby face, regardless of anything. Mixed in with your your male features is what it is. And for me particularly, one of my favorite females now that I'm older is I like Mercury a lot more now because I respect a girl that was really intelligent but that's really shy to a relationship. Like I love Mercury a lot. I love my water girls. They're cool. Mars was one of my favorite because at the time when I was younger, I love people who have fire abilities for some reason. Like fire abilities were so damn cool. And I tell people this: if you actually think about it, each one of the scouts served a role. So Mercury is the intelligent one. She's smarter than Sailor Moon than that dumb blonde, regardless of anything. Let's keep it real. She was smart. She could figure things out. She could lead things, and she can help you out with your homework if you wanted to. But she was planning on being a doctor. I didn't know that was a goal of hers when I was younger. I'm like, oh, she wanted to be like a doctor like her mom. All right, cool. Well, first of all, she got blue hair and blue eyes, and she's water. That's all I need in a girl sometimes. And she has short hair, by the way, which I'm a sucker for. I'm a sucker for girls with short hair that look like that. And Halle Berry's the only other woman I know in real life that looked that good with short hair when I was younger. Out the 007 movies. And then you have Mars. Okay, so Mars, she's a shrine Miko. So which means she works at a shrine. She dedicated to helping her grandfather in the original. They did a good job of that when they did the original. That was really good because she's constantly dedicated to her duties. So she's disciplined and respectful and diligent. And her ability. So she actually has precognition. I didn't know that she can actually kind of see in the future. That was actually a passive ability that she had. And I like that because they were kind of hyping her up that she was one of the strongest. And all her techniques, the fire sniper, like fire arrows and shit, it's just so fucking cool. she literally had a fire spirit gun out of her hand from Yu Yu Hakusho when she did that. That was cool. But she's the guardian of fire. Then you have Jupiter. Jupiter, like she made me like electricity people who can use electricity besides Static Shock. Like Jupiter and Static Shock ones maybe like electricity characters a lot. She controls electricity. She's a tomboy. She can fight hand to hand. Those are many things that I liked about her. Many things I liked about Jupiter. And by the way, that voice actor passed away last year, if I'm not mistaken. She passed away last year. So, respect to her. The original Japanese voice actress, she passed away. So,
I like Jupiter because she has a little fire in her, and like you piss her off.
Yes, she did.
You shoot her, crack the fucking knuckles and knock you the fuck out very easily.
Yeah. She was always with the smoke and we're really like the boxing shit. She actually tried to box Uranus, and Uranus like schooled her like real quick. But one, she was older, and two, she didn't have the skill like Uranus had, but she could still go. But she was a brawler, so I did like that. And I love Venus. I love Venus. Venus, I'll say this. Me in the original seemed like a cheerleader to me, but in the remake, I'm like, okay, this version of Venus I like a lot more because, one, I actually didn't know she was a leader of the Sailor Scouts, number one, and never told her that was Sailor Moon. Like, no, Sailor Moon is our princess we gotta look after, and Sailor Venus guides Jupiter, Mars, and Mercury, and I was like, okay, that's pretty freaking dope. But also the fact that she had a love me chain is freaking hilarious. I love that. With like a pearl whip or some shit. I was like, yo, what the hell? I'm like, girl, yo, Venus, man, Venus, you got a hell of a kink or some shit. What the hell? Like, yeah. And also like I do like the color patterns of white and orange for her. It looks nice. Because orange is a color that doesn't get that much love except from Goku, who wears his gi like that. So yeah, he wears orange a lot. But I love the fact that she was like a solo superhero called Sailor V, and then later on it's revealed. And remember, they have a game after her in the arcade that they were playing in the remake. Which, by the way, I didn't know that in the original because I had to go back and watch that original over again and see if they did that. But within the remake, they're literally playing a game in arcade called Sailor V, and what you don't know are the two cats that are literally controlling that damn thing. Like the actual headquarters is underneath the arcade system. It's crazy. Did you know that? And you know what that reminded me of? Power Rangers. Everybody Power Rangers. When I saw that, I was like, wait, is this Power Rangers? What? Because if you watch the Power Rangers movie, or at least the 2017 version, like it's like there was no command center. The command center was literally the spaceship itself. Underground, and I was like, okay, I like the idea that they did that, but like in the original, it's like on this type of mountain. It's like somewhere in the mountains somewhere, and it has like a shape and stuff. But I was like, Sailor Moon, what the hell are y'all doing? Yeah, trying to do Power Rangers 2.0. But
I think that.
But that was a cool concept.
That little Easter egg was a good because both are Japanese culture, very pop culture in Japanese, and they're huge over there. Sentai is a humongous following over there. Like,
it has a big following.
I'm sorry?
Oh, no, I was agreeing with you. I said it has a big following over there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Big following. Yeah, I know 4 things on
top
of my
Rider,
head. Yeah,
Ultraman, freaking big robot genre is one of the two. I said Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Power Rangers, and there's another one. I'm trying to think another Sentai thing that they did, and it's like Beetleborgs or something they try to do over here, but they had that over there too as well. Gotcha, man. Gotcha. That's what that is. Gotcha, man.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Though the first thing I'll say definitely, and we'll get back on topic is, you have Gundam, Dragon Ball Z, Sentai's 3 of 3. And in Naruto, those are the 4 major ones. And if you want to throw One Piece, I'll give you 5. Those are big 5 followers in Japan right now. Humongous over there with that. I'm not sure if you follow King Smith at all. My buddy King Smith, he actually just went to Japan recently, to Okinawa and all that stuff, because his daughter was
Oh, you
born.
did?
Yeah, because he was in the Air Force. His daughter was born in Okinawa, and he kind of gave her this is her graduation present, and brought her back where she well, pretty much was raised most her first few years of
Mhm.
her life, and that was pretty cool. And one of the pictures he posted was like a he was far away, but full live action Gundam. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Oh yeah, dude. And also, and also, I want to say this to also tell the people out there who may be fans out there who are going to be a girl or a dude, or if you just mess with it in general. They literally have a Sailor Moon museum over there, and a Sailor Moon exhibit, a museum, and a restaurant over there. You know how I know about this? Because 2 years ago, my buddy, he went up there. He's married to him and his wife. He's married to his Japanese wife over there. And one of my military buddies, and he saw it over there. And you know what? His girlfriend used to be a fan of that series, and you know what? They just take a look. He was like, "All right, let's go over there." He was so surprised at the art, the exhibit art they had over there, the posters they had over there, the figurines they had over there, the displays. And not to mention, they literally had the restaurant he met, bro. He said, bro, listen, if you get your girlfriend over here, do make sure to take her over here too as well. That way you have an excuse to go over there. Is what he told me, and he said the food over there was great. So they had so everybody knows in Japan how like they make the food like, creative. So there was literally they did like a Crescent Moon waffle in the shape of Sailor Moon's like actual wand, and it had different fruit in it. So it had blueberry, it had strawberry, and it had raspberry in there. When I tell you, man, when I tell you this dude had like 3 of those, one of them home, he was like, bro, like some of this food there was freaking amazing. It was just shaped. It was shaped in the form of either a character's face, or like the staff, or like the compounders that the girls wear, things of that nature. I was like, God damn, dude, they, like I said, dude, when they commit something over there, they commit to a lot. And it's the same thing. They have a Gundam cafe over there too. So when my friend told me that, like, you know where I'm going. So yeah, I think it's a classic, and it stood the test of time for a while. Sailor Moon, like I said, it's been amazing. It's something I let my little girl watch if I ever decide to have kids, which I do plan on having kids, guys, but when I'm in a place particularly, and I will let my little girl watch it. Like I said, because I said that's one of the series that she can't watch. Oh, by the way, guys, since we're talking Sailor Moon, I might as well give you one of my stands right here. What I got on my desk over here.
So, oh, nice.
Told you, Mercury, my girl, man. Too bad she ain't real though. That'd been my wife, dead ass. I have a nurse for a wife is like a steal. So yeah. But yeah, I got one of those up there. I plan on getting a Venus and probably a Jupiter one too, because as much as eventually everybody went on a showcasing of my room of all the anime art that I have around here, because I have a lot. So yeah, you see some freaking Mercury art. You'll see some Jupiter art as well. But I said all that to say is that Sailor Moon is absolutely creative. I think the first 2 movies are amazing because they're dealing with I love symbols, like they fight for love, justice, and enjoyment. I do like that part. I do find it funny that at least in the first movie literally was like it's a planet level or moon level like attacks that can destroy things, and they're literally fighting plant creatures. And I was like, because I said if you see some of the creatures, I was like, damn, like some of those creatures when you're younger look really freaky. Like, yeah. So So yeah, they may have. So I'll say this. So they may have made it for to kill to a female audience, but some of that stuff looks really like dark for like almost some seinen shit. That's what I would say. And I've seen a lot of dark series, but what surprised me was with the remake was so we got boyfriends choking out girlfriends. We got girls pointing at daughters pointing out guns on their moms. We got we got we got girls trying to kill their parents. I was like, this is crazy right now. I'm like, yo, and I'm like, I don't remember any of this. So my buddy, he's getting ready. Shout to my brother. I won't say his full name out here, but shout to my brother Chris out there. He's getting ready to have his third day coming. So with all the time he spent with his wife, he's been watching the remake, and he said, "Yo, bro, I don't remember any of this being this dark. This is like this is crazy." But he likes it. He likes it. He says his favorite right now is like Sailor Venus right now. Like he's rocking for Mars and Venus right now. And I told him, I said, I think they made Venus a lot better. I think she's a lot better in the remake than she is in the original, honestly. Like she has a leader. She's pretty. She's freaking tough. She's strong. She has a sense of justice. And I ain't gonna lie, bro. She actually is the first intelligent blonde girl besides freaking because Sailor Moon is not smart. They make her a very like dumb
She's
girl.
a dumb bimbo.
She's dumb as hell. And I'm just like, that's what I say. You can't say the same for Venus. Venus actually has brains. Like she really does. Like she actually has brains. Like literally.
Actually, when I was younger, I thought they were like sisters in a way almost. Because they look so
you
similar.
Thought Sailor Moon and Venus were sisters?
Yeah, I was young. When I was a kid in Greece, I thought like
similar.
Yeah, when I was in Greece, I'm like, hey, maybe they're sisters. Maybe they're hidden sisters. Then they're gonna remember later on. They're gonna hug it out. All this stuff. And I found out later on, they're like, nope, they're not sisters. It's just they just look similar.
Yeah, because it says one has pigtails and the other one has like a blue ribbon in the back of her head or something like that. So she looks more defined and more confident in herself, more pretty, is what you would say. So there were a lot of things going for V that separated them. I'm like, if they're sisters, then Sailor Venus hit the genetic pool and to look better, and also brain power from her dad, if anything, or her mom. Because like in the first chapter, like Sailor literally falls down like a flight of stairs. She falls down like 2 flights of stairs, and I'm just like, okay, she can't be.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I watched remake, I didn't watch it in English. I watched it in Japanese. Of course, I watch everything in Japanese subs. Which, by the way, guys, until recently, I've been watching Dandadan. So I've been watching Dandadan and Hero X in English dub as of late, because I haven't watched any dubs recently. But I started opening my eyes to that because I'm a pure Japanese sub elitist. But not as much, because I'm starting to open my brain that there are some good people out there who can voice characters. And I have a buddy of mine who became a voice actor for a certain anime, which I'm glad I'm cool with him. So I'm not going to reveal him over here. But when he starts making a name for himself after a couple more anime, then he'll be like, all right, man, you can shout me out then. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But yeah, I think, like I said, I think one of the things we appreciate about the old one is that like, we didn't have like I like hand drawn artwork. It's the same thing they did with Gundam. I do like how the hand drawn scouts are drawn in the old school. Like I like it a lot because that's the animation I grew up on and I have respect for it. So that's why I don't shit on the original as much as I do. I don't do that because, like I said, because back then they had to draw all this stuff out, and it was a lot harder. It was a hard letter to translate from paper to animated screen to screenshots. And anybody who knows the evolution of Walt Disney, y'all know what I'm talking about. They do the same thing over in Japan. Anything else you want to add, Sparta?
It's a process to draw those out. It's not like a 1, 2, 3. If you think how long they take to write all this out, draw that. First, you got to write the script out. After you got the script, you got to get approved. Once it's approved, then you draw everything out. Sometimes you got to go through 5 or 6 or 7 drawings before it gets approved. So you need patience. So that's why, and from one season to the next season, it's a long period sometimes, and we're spoiled here now. Like season one ends, in a few months you get a season 2 or 3 or whatever you're on. Not
Right.
back in the day. It took time, and it's real
Right.
art. Like I can remember the website it's called. It's a website that sells you films, anime films. Signed, approved, stamped, and
Hmm.
everything from the company. And some of them are expensive. There's this, it's from some of them from Disney, some are from an anime studio, some from other studios. But this is a real film they use for the movie sets. And
Right.
honestly, like, yeah, I'll pick one up if I had extra cash. Fuck yeah, let's throw that part of my collection. I would love to. But
Yeah.
I think it's like, let me ask you this question, bro. Between Crystal and Original, the soundtrack, which one do you like better?
I mean, the classic. She's the one called Sailor Moon. It is a classic opening that I do like, and it is part of every boy and girl's childhood, literally. Soundtrack wise, I would say I like the opening of the old school a lot more. If we're talking about like some of the ending songs a little bit, like I think they're very beautiful. I think they're well choreographed. I think visually the remake, I would say if you're looking for original, then go to the original. I would say the original song holds up. If you're going to like the new songs they add for the remake, I think they're well done. Because for me, there I, it's a little bias in there for me for the remake because what they did with Galactica, like the soundtracks they added for that added to the whole series as a whole, and the sound designs, I think I like the remake a lot more. And it's not fair because they did a proper adaptation of Galaxia and her theme song and the soundtrack goes her background sound when she comes in. I love that. I love the hell out of that. It's really good. And and I'm gonna say this. Like I said, I watched a couple episodes of Galaxia. Like I said, I actually watched the Sailor Cosmos. I watched all of it yesterday, and I'm like, my God, she's beating the hell out of everybody.
Mhm.
Like she's taking out dudes like Hulk. This is crazy, dude. And she literally killed the Sailor Scouts. She literally killed them. And she one-shotted them with like an energy beam from DBZ, like boom, boom, or like and like when I'm getting, so what you're imagining is like Frieza with the death beam, like how she killed Krillin. Is literally what she did, but in like an energy ball. And I was like, damn. And I said they got meta as hell. But I'm gonna go with I'm probably gonna go with Crystal as a whole. But I still like the opening from the original. I think that's really nice.
Personally, the original is good. I'm not denying that, but I gravitate more to the new one, Planet Power Makeup. I believe the song is called. I like that a lot
Yeah.
better. It has a nice beat to it. It's catchy. When you hear that music, some shit is about to
Yeah.
hit the fucking fan, and you get
Oh,
excited.
dude, also there's an ending for Tuxedo Kami. It's like ending 3. If you listen to the whole thing, that shit is so catchy. It's like a catchy pop song.
Mhm.
But jazz like. And I was like, I like that. I had to that's on my phone right now. And I love listening to his ending. And it's literally a Tuxedo Kami ending. It's like ending number 3. If you look it up, download that, listen to it, and then tell me if you wouldn't add that to your damn soundtrack. It's one of my favorites, and I'm like, damn.
Well,
Did
it
they do
sounds
something
good.
for-
I'm not
they
denying it.
actually
I know
gave him-
exactly what we're talking about, and I'm not denying that. Personally, I have it in my playlist. Actually, the Planet Power Makeup. Actually, because it's a nice beat to it. And once when I'm driving and it pops up, I'm like, oh, okay, I can rock with this.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. I think, and people know me. People know I don't hold back on what I love, dude. If it's an anime song that's fire, I will blast that in my car. I don't care. I love that shit.
I'm the same way.
I'll blast a Naruto song in there. I'll do that, or just when. But people know me. I listen to a lot of artists outside of anime that are Japanese, and I have like loads of them on my iPad. Like people you never even heard of, and like people don't know like Winds are like my favorite dude, that is a Japanese 3 boy band that has been around since like the 2000s and fives and things like that. And I'm a big fan of theirs because their music is literally pop and R&B, and I love the hell out of those guys. Guess what? They've only been in like two anime endings, and I thought them before then. So, and like they're like of course they're my favorite endings, but like it just goes to show you, man. Just watching different animes, like you can get different songs, different things adding to your list, and also that's one of the reasons why I do watch the stuff that I watch. Like I said, I love romance, I love action, I love seinen the most possibly, more than shonen in my opinion. I love it more than shonen because they tend to be more mature, more more adult based, and they pull me more in. For example, Watakoi is literally an anime about where they're all adults working around a corporation. They're all 4 of these dudes. They're all takus. They work for a corporation. And the thing is, so there's already a couple at the start of the series, and these other two have known each other since they were younger, but they know that they're both otakus, and they actually decide to date when they work for the same corporation. And you get to know that they have different quirks and things like that. Because guess what? They're my freaking age. Now that I'm this age. And I'm like, I love it because it's realistic in the sense that you could do all this. That you can work on these jobs, but you're still an otaku at the end of the day. So that's one of the reasons why Sailor Moon, Gundam, all this stuff, like I said, it's just part of my childhood. But as other animes come in, you invite them in for your anime experience. As you get older, you realize like, okay, like there's a lot of themes that are in here that kind of to me in my life, and particularly in how we go about our lives is how similar to how this anime goes sometimes. So it's just a thing. And like I said, if you think Sailor Moon is all teenage love, please, you have not watched the goddamn series, my friend. People get murked in the series. People get murked. People get sad. People have trauma. Like it is not a love story. Like I'm talking about, like, yeah.
I love my boy Black David, CBN, Baby Groot, like I like calling him. He is terrified to watch this show so fucking bad, and he has no choice. He's gonna watch
and
it.
It's not even melodrama either.
Yeah,
that's the funny thing. Like,
he's so biased. He goes, "Oh, it's girly," and like, what? Because you're, a Canadian born, a Genian, you're too manly to watch a good woman anime. Come on now, dude. Like he's gonna have to watch.
I mean, if he wants to watch it, you know what's so funny? I want to have my sister on for this because me and her are a fan of the series, but it is anything but girly. I promise you. And it's called My Hime. It's one of the older ones, and dude, I was not expecting that story to turn into what it turned into. I was not expecting them to go this dark, to emphasize on loneliness, trauma. Like I was not expecting that. And remember, this is a 2006, 2007 older anime. You know how long it took to watch it? And by the way, I think I watched it 2015 I when I watched it. Because guys, by the way, when I graduated, I was in college at this time. So I was watching a little bit of the newer stuff too. And when I finally got on laptop and things like that, I was finally able to catch up on the anime that I missed. And I was on a tear through to watch a bunch of different shit. But that was the ones I had to watch. And I watched the whole series, and I was like, this is the most creative I've seen. Like, and by the way, it's not like dudes don't exist in this anime. They exist. But these girls are given abilities that, like, yo, I don't want to spoil the thing, but it's a serious conversation. If they're defeated in battle, the person they care about most dies if they enter a battle. So, and I'm like, this is messed up. like they literally turn into dust like Thanos. I'm like, yo, I'm like, damn, this is whoa. And I was like, are you sure this is a girly anime? No, it's not a girly anime, bro. This just like it is the first thing from that. So, and I don't know whenever I can get her on because because me and her already talked about doing a podcast on that series, and I'm gonna rewatch the whole series over. I actually have it saved on my terabyte drive. I have that thing saved, so I can watch it over anytime I want. I got it in good quality. But and that's a 26 episode. That's a 26 episode series. It's really well done. It's really well paced. It has really good setup, and it has consequences. But no. But I got a recommendation for everybody out there before I say this. So please check out Sailor Moon, y'all. Check out the remake. I think it's really, really good. It's worth your time. Because me and Sparta are gonna do something quick before we out. But check out the series. And there's 3 seasons, and not to mention, watch Sailor Moon Cosmos. That has the Sailor Galaxia, the Sailor Galaxia arc and story in there is so well done. And it's the darkest Sailor Moon ever goes, besides Sailor Senshi. So check it out. It was definitely worth your time. And the animation transformations are freaking fire for me. I love it. PIS. Mercury, Mars, and Venus are mine, man. Get off. I know Sparta likes Mars, and hey man, I could give her up, but if she wasn't a Shrine Maiden, you can have her. Be my guest. But I'll take Mercury with me, man. Seriously.
You sure they're yours? You sure you want to say that to me?
You
sure?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I gotta do it, man. I'm sorry.
You've reached your limit on talking. Shut the fuck up.
I told you I got sound effects. I got buttons. I got more buttons than that. Trust me. But all joking aside,
you.
Yeah. But here's the thing: if you ask me which one I prefer, OG or the Crystal, I actually like Crystal a little better, to be honest with you, because they didn't have all that filler. It go right to the point. Boom. And you don't have to worry.
I go right to the story.
Yeah, and it wasn't like
you're not dragging it on. Yeah.
The thing about the old school animes, and I love old school anime, Gundam Wing, MS Team, Outlaw Star, Naruto, whatever.
Star. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
I can go on and on how many we're talking about. There's so many, but they have a lot of fillers. Outlaw Star, not too much. Cowboy Bebop, that had a good amount of fill-ups. Let's be honest here on that one. Trigun, it had a whole series of fill-up, pretty much. With Trigon. So it was too much. But when they remade this, I liked it because they didn't milk us. Oh, here's a little more story. Milk us. Like, hey, give me the story and fuck off. And and I like that about it. It didn't waste my, listen, we're older now. We don't have a lot of time to watch TV. We have full-time jobs. We have responsibility. We're both family, man. We have shit going on. We don't have 40, 60 hours a week to just spend on watching anime. We have other things to do. So if you give me a good story and go right into the story without milking me on, you got my attention. That's another reason why I didn't like Daima. Daima was to me garbage personally. So
I couldn't like Daima in general because I don't like the concept of turning your kids. I hated that idea because I'm like, dude, we did that with GT already, and GT only had one good thing about it for me. Was, it was literally Super 17 and Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Super Saiyan 4. That was my favorite thing. But
I have gotten an argument with Wally with this for so many times. He thinks GT is literally better than anything. I personally disagree. I think GTs are garbage. I don't like Super Saiyan 4 at all. I like Super Saiyan 3, if I'll be honest with you. That's my favorite one of them all the Super Saiyans. And also Instring is another one. So, but GT to me didn't do it. Daima didn't do it either. And I literally asked him the last anime show we did together, and I go, guys, what's up with Dragon Ball Z going after kids all the time? Do they have the kids ferrets or something shit like that? They keep turning everybody back to kids. And their response was, well, that's if this started originally with kids. Like, we moved on from there.
We moved on from that's what we're saying. But at the same time, I don't think they're going after kids or like trying to that's kind of crazy that you said that, but I'm saying I think you mean is like, why did they go for the kid concept when they've already done it? And I'm like, yeah, And I agree with that they shouldn't be doing that because I feel like they're just you're running out of ideas. Like really, like to me, I said, I think Super was the last attempt at trying to do something great is what they were trying to go for. And there are things in Super I like and I don't like.
Of course,
like Beerus is like the thing that I like. Like I'll be honest, Beerus and Jiren are like the only things that I do like, and maybe like some creative characters that got brought in, like Khalifa or Kefla. Like I love that character. I think that was a cool character. New Fusion, like yeah, that was cool. But there are certain series that just don't do that. But with that being said, I want to say this: if you want to talk about if you want to talk about something that has like everything in kind of in the genre, except like I guess you could say like low key fighting that relate to real world stuff. Fruits Baskets. Watch that.
Okay.
You know about that?
No, I haven't heard, to be honest with you.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. It's not so don't expect action from the story. Expect a lot of real world things to go on. It's like a slice of life, but it's so guess what? The original was done in 2006, 2007. And they did a remake for it to follow the actual story.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the original when I was young, when I was like in high school. Now that I'm older, when I hit 30, I watched the remake because it's a 2021 or 2020 remake. They did, and it has 3 seasons. It's been over since a year ago. If you watch it, you'll be surprised what's in that story, what you learn about it. Like the surprise that not just their animals, but like all the things these characters go throughout their lifetime. And it's like no one can tell me you couldn't relate to any of these characters. Like you can't. I relate to like 2 of them, maybe 3 that I'm older now. It was only 1 character when I was younger. Now that I'm older, it's like I relate to these dudes now. But check it out. It's the remake, the Fruit Baskets remake. It's really really good. You can, and by the way, watch it in you can watch it in sub or dub if you want, but for the dub, they got like the original voice actor dub casters for this, so they can reduce to the characters who played the characters prior. And I was surprised that they did that. And I was like, okay, I'm watching it. But I did watch it in Japanese. I watched it both in Japanese and in English once it was all done. Because that was a shot of the dub that I watched, and the dub was really good. So that's something I recommend to everybody. But guys, that being said, we're gonna do one special thing for you guys before we go. We said we will react to the new Gundam Wing thing, and I want to be able to show you guys what may possibly happen if we get a remake. But I think
they greenlit it, bro.
Yeah, like it's being the talk. Yeah, because it was revealed in Comic-Con. I actually didn't know when it got dropped, but it was in Comic-Con and San Diego Con. Which, by the way, guys, I'm actually upset. I haven't been to any San Diego cons ever, and I started going to those same things.
No cons in general, or just San Diego one?
Well, the San Diego one in general. I haven't gone to that, and I need to go to it.
So let me give you a little backstory here. I work with a guy named CQ from Pop Culture Warrior, and he also is related with WFC Nation. All very Ron, very cool guys. So CQ is into the anime like we are, movies, comic, anything pop culture is into. So he was invited this year to go to San Diego with press passes, but he couldn't bring his team with him because he only had 1. He goes to me on the phone with Pete. To be honest with you, I don't need a press pass for everybody. I only need 1 because everything that goes on in San Diego, you don't need to go into the center. Everything's outside. Except maybe 1 or 2 autographs if you're really into that. And I am. If you see, I have a collection of autographs. But everything else, right, like press passes, trailers, anything you think of is outside the event. So you're walking around most of the time, but you're not even in the center. Versus New York Comic Con, you have to be inside the center because everything happens in the center. If that makes sense.
Right.
So just FYI, if you want to, explore it that way. Because next year, if CQ goes, I'm going with them, and I'm not getting a pass. I'm just going to go with them because there's no reason to get a pass, like he says. Everything goes outside.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because next year, me and the guys are trying to go to Anime Expo next year. And there's a lot of hurdles. Not a lot of hurdles, but there's a lot of prepping that has to be done when you do that. So, yeah.
For which one?
The one in LA.
Cons in general are prep anymore. It doesn't matter what kind of con it is. I don't care if it's New York Con, San Diego, LA, DC. Their work. I'll be honest with you. Because last year I had press passes behind the scenes. And I was I had a privilege to interview the guy who did Next Level, the guy creators. And that was, I looked around, and Paul Bennett was interviewing somebody else, and he goes to me, "We're so underprepared." Like, what do you mean? These guys have like big cameras and everything. Like, dude, we're a we're YouTubers, not like freaking television, and they make you feel like you get intimidated really fast. But you have to remember, these guys start like we did with GoPros and little mics and everything, phone cameras and stuff. We all start from somewhere.
And like I said, I've been to maybe like 4 cons in my lifetime.
Yeah, only advice I'm going to give you, if you do go to any cons, if you know you're going to, let's say, New York Comic Con in October, for argument's sakes, as soon as they announce the date, apply for your press passes. Most likely you're not going to get it, but you can try and see what happens. If you get press passes, that's awesome.
Right. And like I said, if you're a channel by any chance, you're going to want to have your own booth or something like that, do stuff.
Booths are expensive as shit. Yeah, you're looking in the thousands because, again, CQ works with Wounded Warrior Project, and a couple of those booths, they're not cheap. Definitely in a New York or San Diego con, some of them can go up to a couple thousand easily for literally a tape the size of my small desk here.
Yeah, I always chalk that up to like every year something gets bumped up if you're gonna go to a new event or if they're gonna add new people or people who are important, like people you want to meet specifically. So I always tell people to be for that.
The best advice I got given from CQ, and I just don't have the time to do it because I have to work a full-time job, is if you have a small Comic-Con around your area, a small one, go to the small ones first. Interview a few people. But small ones will push your name out there faster.
Right. They will. And I've been to smaller ones. I've been to MomoCon. I was in Atlanta, Georgia, like about 5 years ago. So, yeah. And also, like I said, I tell people I had a really great time with that place. Like, wow. I mean, I won't even brag or anything, but I'm like, wow. I was surprised. I was surprised about how much fun I had, actually. So, yeah. It's a vibe there, guys. That looks so good.
At one point, it's not even funny. And they show Wing Zero teardrop version in there too.
Yep. The old school anime art looks so good.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. Heavy on them. So good.
Oh yeah, they all look good. They upgraded them pretty well.
I love that music. Here's my favorite part.
Oh yeah, I like it when he comes landing.
Mhm. And this is all stuff that the Frozen Teardrop that they're gonna be amending.
Like I said, Greenland is going to happen.
Say that again, Sparta?
They already said the Greenland teardrop. It's not if it's going to be, it's going to happen now. Because the reaction behind the trailer and how good the book was, people want this really bad. So it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And just, when is it going to come out is the question now. I don't think they have a date on that yet. Let me check.
Yeah, we don't know yet. But I tell everybody, man, when I made my new intro, I am literally putting this part in my new intro, like literally, because these 5 guys are part of my childhood, and they were like the best pilots that I ever knew for Gundam. Like I said, they were my introduction to Gundam. Hold on, I think I still have it over here. Let me see if I can get it. Hold on. Here we go. I got it, guys. Hold on. Here we go. See if you guys can see this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. The original freaking 5 pilots, bro. Yeah. You know how hard it was to get one of these damn things at the time when Amazon was around? So, yeah. Like I said, these are my pilots, man. And like I said, they literally... Yeah, dude, I was jealous of these motherfuckers. I'm like, why am I in school when these motherfuckers are like just piloting freaking Gundams and shit? Every time I watch the episode, I'm like, oh, I'm jealous of these guys. I'm like, why can't I pilot a big robot? And guys, that was a thought process I had when I was young. I'm older, adult. I know why I could do that. If I did, I wouldn't go to school. Oh man. And I'm just like, you want to be a child soldier now you're older? I'm like, hell no, I don't want to be a child soldier. But yeah. With that being said, man, shout out to Wing, shout out to Sailor Moon, shout out to DBZ, shout out to all these series that we grew up on. Because without them, I ain't gonna lie, we wouldn't be fans of anime like how we are now. I tell everybody that. You would not be this big of a fan if you didn't watch any of these old stuff. And for the new people who came in who just only knew Naruto and stuff like that, you missed out on some of the other ones. Like you got a piece of what we got to watch, but you didn't even get the full bag of what we got. Because guess what? You probably didn't know about Jane King and the Bandits. You probably didn't know about that. You didn't know about Angelic Layer. That was one of my that was a good series. Kaleidostar. That's another one. That actually, you know what's so funny about that one? Kaleidostar is literally a series of a girl just happened to be who just happened to run into these people who were like literally circus actors. And guess what?
Really?
She decided to randomly join these people and start her life up there. And not to mention, she became her along with 2 girls who auditioned, learned to be stars. And by the way, it wasn't a girl anime. There were dudes, everybody. This is around anywhere. Dudes and girls can watch this. Like so. And that's an older anime. That's like 2008, 2009. And it looked pretty good for the time. And I watched every episode of the time when Spectrum called Warner and they had a channel called Cutting Edge on Demand. They had all the anime on there I could watch. So, I mean, I've had a computer at the time, but I had that, and I was able to watch other series, Princess Tutu, all these other things. That's another one where someone thinks that was girly. It's not girly at all, my friend. That is a dark story I am watching. I'm literally watching Shakespeare's. To me. And I tell you what, this Princess Tutu is literally Shakespeare. Literally Shakespeare. It's literally the definition of Shakespeare, like literally. And the reason why I know that is because when I was in college at the time, it follows all the themes of what Shakespeare does in his plays, and what they do is make the characters aware that story, which is hilarious to me. Because like you have one of the villains that literally call out the god of the universe, and then he shrinks because he's a boy. She knows I exist, so it's actually funny. So things like that, like characters are aware they're in this story, and that they all have a role to play. But they don't. But the thing is, they never stray from the role. Was what we're saying. So I just find it funny that they did that in that series. But yeah, that is more of a story than it is a like I said, people think whenever you hear these titles, you think that it's all sunshine and rainbows. It's not. They're really like dark and effed up.
Dude, when they do release Gundam Wing Frozen Teardrop, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. I was just saying, watch the movie Black Swan, and then talk to me about it's a love story.
Oh yeah, Black Swan was definitely a love story. I saw the trailer enough to know that I need to see it. But I was gonna say when Gundam Wing Frozen Teardrop comes down, we definitely gonna have to do a show together. Maybe we get my guys, David and Wally, you and all four of us, do a whole show on it. Like I love to see everybody's reaction behind it. Now I'm going to try and find the manga on it because I want to read it now. I'm curious about it now.
Yeah, the woman you saw that was like when you saw Wu Fei, that's his wife. I didn't know that.
Oh, his wife now.
But that was his wife. Yeah, he had so many, which is really crazy. That means he would have to have been married when he was 14. And then she died really early. So that probably was his betrothed wife. Then she died. That's yeah.
But I thought Frozen Teardrop was after Elden's Wall. It's not before.
That's what it is. But I guess it revealed his backstory that it was his wife. So I needed if it happened after or before because remember somebody said he named his Gundam. I don't know, it might be misleading, but someone said that he named his Gundam Nataku. In the whole series, when Gundam Wing first starts, he named Shenlong Nataku because that's the name of his wife. So you got to tell me, is that so? So that's what I'm saying. That's why that throws me off. Did he get his wife after the war or before? Because to me, that's a retcon. Because in the original, he does say Nataku. He did say Nataku.
I will say,
so
it makes more sense to me if I forgot his name. Who pilots Heavy Arms? He was the oldest one from the group. Troy, thank you. If he was married before the war or after, it doesn't matter because he was the oldest one from the group, and that made more sense to me. But Wolfie, I have a hard time seeing that.
Troy had no name to begin with. Watch him as well.
Yeah, he was no name after. Remember?
Yeah, no name was his name, and then he took on the Troy, and they signed him to the Heavy Arms.
Yeah. And then Waltz explained that.
Name.
Yeah, and then Waltz really goes over that really detail. Oh, he's actually so and so, and yada yada, and that makes sense.
Right.
So I don't know. I liked it.
They had all those people killed in the whole actual series. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Remember, he's Chinese. He's not Chinese.
Yeah, he's the only one.
Yeah, because like their ethnicity of each character, Dual Max will be American. Hiroyu is Japanese. We know that for sure. We know Hiroyu is Japanese for sure. Troa, I want to say he's from the UK. Is what I would like to say. He's always hard to figure out for me. So I would assume he's from the UK. But Catra is really Eastern. He is literally Middle Eastern. Like, and people don't know how intro how he dresses and the people who are around him. He is literally Middle Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know how you get blonde hair unless you get it from your mom. But hey, because it should be black, but it's not. But his whole attire, if you watch the opening, he's literally wearing clothes, and the people who follow him are literally Middle Eastern too. So yeah, he is of Middle Eastern descent. That's what he is. And like I said, I think Troy's from the UK. If you Google it, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I know all from of where they're from. It's the same thing with all the other pilots from all the other series of like Gundam 00. You know all where they come from. Like 00, like he is literally Arabian. Like it's like Setsuna FCA, he's literally a product of child soldier. So yeah. Oh, CBN man, what's up? How you doing? Sparta, is there anything else you wanted to touch up on, or anything you wanted to add to the conversation before we end things?
Definitely check out Crystal. If you don't want to watch the OG, or at least watch Crystal, it's worth the watching. Once you watch Crystal, you're gonna want to go back and watch the original. It's definitely. And CVN, guess what? We're gonna be posting Sailor Moon very, very soon. You're gonna have to watch it. So get ready for your round of Sailor Moon next, my man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Get ready for that. And also, I recommend anybody out here, at least to Sparta, check out Fruit Basket, y'all. On an actual series like that deals with relationships, trauma, hardcore, to some degree. I would say it definitely tackles those themes, and also overcoming one's past, things of that nature. Watch Fruit Baskets. If you're a dude or a girl, it is for all genres. I mean genres. It is for all. It's for both sexes in general. Go for it, because it. God damn. I would tell you there is one episode that made me feel really, really depressed, and I was like, no anime has ever do that to me in general. Because normally I just power on through, but I was like, I had to call. Listen, I only watched this episode in like season 2. I had to call buddy right after the episode was over. I had to have a talk with him. I was like, bruh, this wow. And I'm 34. It didn't really to me particularly. Like I power on through a lot of things, but I was like, yeah, I got to talk to my homeboy after that. Like, dude, this it hit G. It hit real G.
There's a lot of enemies that will hit you right where you're like, wow, you didn't expect that coming. It's gonna hurt, you're gonna hurt your ego a little bit.
Yeah, I'm talking about stuff that hits on a live action level, literally, where you get writing like that and you never saw that coming. Like you think you could ever tackle themes this deep and this hard. Now, people know Berserk, people know Devilman, people know all those dark series like Tokyo Ghoul. Like I said, you can never get a reaction particularly because they cannot be portrayed very well, and you don't want them disrespecting the material that the creator created. So I'm a big component of that. But yeah, like I said, check out Crystal, y'all. We've gone on long enough. Check out that series. Check out the other series we recommended. Check out My Hime too as well. Check that out. You would be surprised. You'd be surprised how much you would like that. You'll be surprised. Actually, throw hands on that, and and the consequences are consequential. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Just say that. And Sparta, is there anything you want to plug in that you're going to be doing for your channel soon or anything? Go right ahead.
Actually, let me just. I'm actually looking forward to 2 shows coming up. We have a show tomorrow. We have one. I'm not sure we have it on Wednesday, but we definitely have one on Thursday. But Friday, we're doing a special show about what happened to Saku Stu, the whole incident with the wrestling thing. So definitely check that, guys, out. And at this one, Jay, you might want to join us. We're going to be talking about on Saturday about animes that we forgot about. I mean, cartoons that we forgot about that we left back, like from the 90s and the 2000s. So I'm talking about Rugrats. We're going to be talking about Scooby-Doo and so on. I don't want to spoil too much, but definitely come check us out.
Scooby-Doo. I can give you a list in my head. Johnny. Well, I didn't forget Johnny Bravo, but Johnny Bravo, bro. Oh, yeah. Okay. I actually want to join that because to this day, everybody knows me. I will still watch the school Looney Tunes, and that shit is still hilarious to me. Because I grew up with it. I'll watch True Hands. I'll watch Tex Avery. Tex Avery was freaking hilarious. I'll watch all that. Like I tell people, listen, it ain't no matter what age I get. They have kids or not. And I do have kids. I'll watch that shit right with them. I'm gonna make sure they watch all the good stuff with me. Like, yeah, I'll watch all that. But
oh yeah, I agree with you.
Oh yeah, by the way, shout out to series that nobody forgot that I have on my Terabyte drive. SWAT Cats. Yeah.
I was a fan of that shit back in the day.
It's me,
That was
biggest
that
fan
was
right
one
here,
of them.
man. Love SWAT Cats. So you talking about? So you want to talk about a show you forget? SWAT Cats. Nobody brings that up. But with that being said, y'all, peace out. I hope you enjoyed this discussion of Sailor Moon Rocks. Like I said, check out the shows, check out the songs, and check out the OSTs. Y'all have a great night. Have a good night of Labor's Day in this case. And I gotta prepare for work tomorrow, and me and Sparta gotta head out. Peace.